make this a little cinematic.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Greetings, H&G community. I'm Jay Colley, studio head at TLM and TLM Games. About a year ago, we acquired the Heroes and Generals franchise, and we are ecstatic to bring an outstanding team to complement our world-class multiplayer and cross-play game engineers. It was a perfect fit. While partnering with AAA publishers like Warner Brothers, Riot Games, 2K, Activision, and their developers on games such as Back 4 Blood, Gotham Knights, Ghostbusters VR, The Quarry, Call of Duty, we took many of those key learnings and applied them to our own games. In our first year,
so they got someone in there with the connections.
Project, we took a deep dive into the tech and how we could best support the game moving forward. Our vision for Heroes and Generals was and still is to bring this game up to the technical standard.
Now I do want to say again, and I said this with their screenshots, which doesn't look too far. It looked like they took the screenshot when they did this recording, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did that in the same thing. They even say it right here. So game footage, subject to change. Looks pretty, this is good. Also, they recorded it pretty bad at a low bit rate, so it's actually kind of hard to see, unless this is from, 1080p.
Standards and best practice.
But, yeah, this is not just like the stream. I can also tell, like, they just did not record it well. That's why the grass kind of looks less good. But like the distance, that type of stuff, that's probably going to have some atmospheric fog and all that. Or if not that, but it's going to look a little bit more built in, I would say, or natural, I guess, and less like that type of stuff where it just kind of pokes out. But if it's still that is, for all this being here, I wonder if they started developing this sooner, which is a question that is very interesting. The UI right here, we can see different UI. That different UI. Different type of game mode, but not really. This is like skirmish. This kind of reminds me of Enlisted. And then we got the kill feed, which again is very basic, but this is something that is alpha, or this is pre-alpha. This is pre-alpha, but them entering into alpha, beta, especially the official version, especially if they hit the milestones, will really, me looking at this type of stuff, seeing everything will really dictate if they actually are doing stuff versus not, because they've already done a good bit of the game. At least this here. We'll continue because this is just one frame or one section. But here, let me show you.
That make free-to-play games fun.
So I see a small bird.
Fun and rewarding to play. We purchased the IP knowing that there was a certain shelf life.
Yeah, because there is. I don't see any clouds, right?
Remaining for the Retox engine.
But I don't know if it's because like if. Look at that! Look at that! Like, imagine fighting here. Like H&G, this is what we should like kind of, this is Mountain Town, proper Mountain Town.
Shelf life remaining for the Retox engine. We set up.
Also, the barbed wire, all this is H&G models. Some look like maybe retextured.
A major milestone.
Like that, I think that is H&G, but that's retextured.
We took our free-to-play light RT.
That you could tell is from H&G, like that type of coloring. That is because they got a, that's the normal maps. Or actually, what is that? The ambient occlusion? Something's messed up there, because, yeah, you can tell, like, it's boxy. Got 100%, that's, hit markers.
TS first-person shooter.
Also, see how far we can see without it being super laggy, so I think they've already nanited. Actually, no. Have they? They might have. Actually, I don't know if they have nanited. They might have.
And introduced a battle pass system, new campaigns, and added a tutorial to better onboard new players. As we launched our latest battle pass.
And then this right here, so not inside, but still pretty cool.
Pass campaign, and we were planning.
That is something that I talked about earlier. That doesn't look like players. That looks like something is being called in.
Planning our next one, we came to the unfortunate
that is just an environmental thing where you just see that happening.
Conclusion that the legacy Retox engine has run its course. To give the franchise and our community of gamers the proper experience you deserve,
not nanites, yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, you're right. So I wonder, because it looks like LODs. Actually, it is, now that I look at it right here. Okay, so yeah, it's not nanited yet. So they're probably still in 5.3. Interesting. But that doesn't matter because they can... How do you upgrade to the next version? You just drag the save file in, and then boom.
to give
But you got to change some things that have changed in 1.0.
the franchise and our community of gamers the proper experience you deserve.
See,
We've
all
made
this
the
looks
bold
crisp.
decision to move the
But then
franchise
the game doesn't,
as a brand new game to the
The dude
Unreal
recorded
5
it with low
engine.
bitrate.
And we need your help.
Head of
For
design,
us to
Oliver.
build the future of heroes and generals in Unreal, we
We got over here. Oh, D&D. He's got some D&D books. Hey. I got this. I got the Master's Guide. I got this one too. I don't have these two. I want
made
them.
this Kickstarter campaign. You're
Got a nice
probably
little
wondering
lightsaber.
what you're going to get. Well, for starters,
Seeing this
it's
is good.
not going to be a straight port. The core idea behind Heroes and
Now we're starting to see some fog stuff, but still really no clouds, right? So they probably are waiting. I wonder if you can't nanite a cloud. Interesting. But like that's, it's good to pause. Look at the grass. Look how much detail there is. Small rocks. How much will this bother? The trails? Like all that's there already. That's really good.
in general
But of course, like how much is this going to change? How like refined will it be?
is still amazing today. So it's not good.
Those effects, I mean, hey, now we don't have to worry about any type of fire because of the new particle system, and also Unreal's particle system is better. So that's just that. I wonder if they're using the same type of explosion system. Probably not. Where in H&G, an explosive device, it has actual rendered, like, little, very small, basically meshes or like little dots, you know, bullets, and then it flings out in all directions. So that's why you can be behind a corner and then you can still get killed by a grenade because the stuff bounces off the wall and hits you. Like in real life it would, if it's close enough. And that's how they kind of mimicked it in H&G, and so does the explosives. Every explosive does this, even the plane's bombs. So they probably are not going to be doing this in Unreal. That's something that's kind of stuck out. I don't know, because we can't tell unless I'm in there, because that's really hard, unless they show it. But also TLM Umbra. So we see this is Umbra, Albert, so this is AI. So the AI system is going to be much better. So for playing their quote-unquote stage game mode is probably going to be much better, just right off the bat than H&G stage. So it might actually be more beneficial to play stage now, just having AI that's not going to be brain dead and can see you through bushes. I'm going to be soon. I'm saying this is because this is coming from a person who's just about to, probably within the next upcoming weeks, going to get into AI in Unreal 5, the engine that they're using. And I've already kind of peeked into some videos that I've lined up for the next few weeks. And it's really easy compared to their engine. So it's actually kind of cool that they did in their engine already, but doing additions to the AI, that's the big part. One thing to have AI, okay, but the additions to it, can they see through the foliage? How do they move? Is there going to be an enlisted system where you control AI? I don't know.
going anywhere. But the new
This is where that kind of reminds me of this, because look at the colors. Maybe that's just the teammates?
engine
'Cause I see
opens
blue.
up so many possibilities. Moving to Unreal 5
Wait, who just got killed?
today, we can so many
Also, H&G model.
possibilities.
Also the nice
Moving
rain.
to Unreal
But it's kind of messed up, though, because of just like...
5 and using
the model.
everything we've learned over the years, we can
they actually-
truly
I think they've actually
refocus
redone
on
it a
what
little bit.
makes the game unique and bring that vision beyond anything that was possible before. A few things that you can expect.
Okay.
A revamped RTS to make
But also, welcome everybody. What I just saw this. Plans for a long war. Unreply, Goring's peace try on. This is General Jimmy. So, oh, okay, we can see right here. So backpack points, so that's equipment points. Oh, and AT, okay, so the AT points are still here. So far, you know. So you need an AT slot in order to have an assault team. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So this is not just like they cheeked out with H&G and did some like, they did another prototype of H&G. No. The UI, that's easy. That's actually really, really easy to do in Unreal.
for even more exciting wars and make it easier to
Also, what's that? You see that on fire? This is on fire. It's kind of hard to see because there's no, I think, UI. But like, I think these are the paths you can have your ATs move on or something, because there's something right here that is kind of...
balance. A much stronger interconnection.
Yeah, you see like the tank, then you got like something
between
over
the
here.
FPS
And here we go. So now he's showing his ATs. US-43, so heavy bombers, recon, tank destroyers. Now this is interesting. I'm seeing 12 out of 72, 12 out of 72, 12 out of 18. So they haven't So for every vehicle, that's, again, bare bones. So they just recently put this in. That shows that. Now, keep this in mind, because if we don't see this changing in the future, that shows that there's some issues. Right? You know,
And
keep this in mind. Already they set the, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So that's good. Also, does that mean they're in battle?
RTS.
Quit the game? Quit the game?
With all players contributing to the
Quit the
war,
game?
it needs to feel like one
So was he in game? And did he press a button like you can in game and press like F2 to see the local buildings?
game. A continued focus on World War II
Oh, you see that?
war. It needs to
What was that? Did you see it? Did you catch it?
feel like one game.
I caught it.
A continued focus on World War II.
Did he mark that? That
One.
was a very quick spot, unless the spot's a second, you look at a person, but he was looking at
A
enemies.
continued focus on World War
And
II.
move there, and he
but
looks
really
over.
reinforcing
And then again, is an airstrike being called in? Or is that just environmental?
feeling of rewriting history as a player. New game modes,
This, like, oh,
content, and art direction that our team has always hoped
this kind of reminds me of Battlefield
to
1942.
deliver. Controller compatibility,
Oh,
expansion beyond the PC, and as a whole, a huge persistent war.
Wait.
New game modes, focus on World War II, but really reinforcing that feeling of rewriting history as a player. New game modes, content, and art direction that our team
new game modes, content, and art direction
has always hoped to deliver.
that our team has always hoped to deliver.
Controller compatibility,
Controller compatibility,
expansion beyond the PC,
expansion beyond the PC. Excuse me. Are they trying to hit consoles? Expansion beyond PC, right? That's not, we're adding new expansions. They wouldn't just say PC. Why? This game's only on PC. So I think they confirmed that this is going to maybe... Ooh, they got that many connections that they're going to launch this on consoles. So I think this might be an actual big thing. Because if they're going to hit consoles or something like that, that's pretty big.
controller compatibility, expansion beyond the PC, and as a whole, a huge persistent war with limitless missions and battles to play with your clanmates.
We are working hard on the prototype now. If successfully
Development director?
funded, at the end of the Kickstarter campaign,
I mean, look in here. Look at all. This is new. All new. You can tell. New art direction. I can tell this is a new art direction.
we will give
I like it. I mean, reminds me a little bit of Sniper
our
Elite a little bit.
community the ability to test out the first playable
Very basic crap,
version
but very
and
basic.
give us direct feedback on what worked,
Also, I wonder if they use this design of their old H&G map, because this has a tunnel, right? So I wonder... This is a train, though.
what didn't, and what we may be missing.
Also, the AI is going down in kind of a good way. We're kind of seeing some demonstration of good AI movement, like better than H&G's.
The community, a seat at the development
Reinforcements.
stage. So, we are asking what didn't
Oh, reinforcements?
and what we may be missing. We are looking to give you
Is this a survival game mode? So they said missions earlier, so I wonder in some assault missions you have like a zombie survival, but instead of zombies... Because in H&G, there was a training mission back when H&G first launched. They removed it for whatever reason, which I think they lost the files. Because they had AI. H&G, Rito had AI way back in the day, and it was a training mission where they'll come at you. Is this similar to it?
community.
Because they had a timer and
a
everything.
seat at the development table.
There's a video on YouTube still showing that.
So, we are
Can I see? No, I can't. I'm trying to see if there's any dates. PM. I can tell that's PM. Crap.
asking you to help us reach our goal.
We have learned a lot from the original Heroes and Generals,
Marketing manager.
and we want to use that knowledge to create an even better game in the future. But in order for us to keep the franchise going, we need your help by pledging
That's nice. I love it. The tractor. I like this guy.
to our Kickstarter. For every pledge, you will not only help us get closer to our goal, you'll also receive some great help
Okay, so develop
by
our goal.
pledging to our Kickstarter. For every pledge,
Develop the game in Unreal 5, create new artwork and models, yes. Rework the FPS and RTS gameplay, new progression system, ability to evolve the game, yes.
you will
And that's what I was kind of like very
not
happy about
only
earlier.
help us get
Hold up. Am I in a battle?
closer
I probably shouldn't do that. That's okay, whatever.
to our goal, you'll also receive some great rewards. Access to early build to our goal, you'll also receive
Supporter, access to the first demo release, your name formally credited in H&G2, notification when open beta. Okay, so they're oh. So I think this is going to be like a How It Loose thing where they release on consoles, it's early access, and it's like beta. So they're probably going to have a little bit of a rough start, depending, but I don't know though, because I don't know how much is developed. The forum's open to the public.
receive some great rewards. Access to
So new forms, that means a new form system? Or just they're using the same forms, but just a new page? Wait, here's in general the next were Phase 3, access to the closed beta Phase 3, H&G2 forum, forum badges, access to the forum,
early build,
all previous rewards included. Okay.
unique in-game items that
Senior, Kickstarter, okay. Exclusive,
could
okay.
include a statue with
Exclusive supporter APC skin. I know a few people love that. Forum badges, access
your
Phase
name
2.
on it. Not only can you help us
Phase 3, Phase 2, okay. Master Sergeant, Kickstarter runs name color? Interesting. Wait, are they doing that now? Like, wait, interesting. What does that mean? Kickstarter exclusive? I guess that's exclusive to there. That would be sick if you could have gold. Like your kill cards have a golden. You have veteran membership or something? T-shirts, access to the closed alpha. Okay, so they are doing alpha.
create the next installment
Access to H&G2 farms, closed alpha.
of Heroes and
Kickstarter skin for the Tiger and for a plane.
Generals. You'll also
Or for a heavy tank and for a plane, but I don't know if that means just for those vehicles.
get the
General opportunity or exclusive opportunity to participate at the highest level.
opportunity to immortalize your name forever. We want
And then this is... Oh, so, okay, so, wait a second. Wait, marketing manager, project manager. So Greenbow is still in. Okay, this is all the developers that are still here from Rito. So Hades is still here. Looks like everybody, yeah, Odin. He's still here. Developer, TLM Cast, Associate Artist, Creative Lead, Graphics Designer, General Graphics, Publishing, QA Testing, QA Lead, Technical Artist, UI Designer, Community.
immortalize your name forever. We want you, our community of players, to keep charging into battle alone or with your clan. Our reimagination of the game promises to keep the core mechanics the same, but bring it to the next generation of gaming platforms. The Unreal
Is that okay? Maybe that
to
is an
keep the
auto
core
spot system.
mechanics the same,
Or-
but bring it to the next generation
Oh no, okay, so it is an all spot.
of gaming
Unless
platforms.
someone spotted him, because if someone spots him, is it like a Battlefield where it stays with them?
The Unreal Engine will allow us to create photorealistic images and make you feel like you're in the thick of battle. Everything
Yeah,
you're
old
seeing right, you
very
feel
old
like you're in the
H&G
thick
models.
of battle. Everything you're seeing right now, all made in Unreal. Charge into battle as a soldier or command the field as a general. Explore your strategic skills in the RTS portion of the game, where you can deploy weaponry, tanks, planes for your soldiers, and change the course of historical battles.
As you can see, our team works 100% remote, spans the entire globe, and works around the clock. I want to take the time to thank each and every one of them for their tireless work that has us running 24/7 operations. It will take our entire team about 6 months to create this amazing prototype. So, will you help us take
It's
6
right
months
here, so
to create this
actual
amazing
development.
prototype?
Okay.
So, will you help us take Heroes and Generals to the next generation of battles? Thank you for watching. Check out the pledges, and we hope to see you on the battlefield soon.
Oh. Now, interesting thing, because here, big thing.
RTS portion of the
Wish they went inside the buildings and see that stuff.
game, where you can deploy weaponry, tanks,
This.
planes for your soldiers, and
You know, of course, it doesn't really explode and all that stuff. Unless, wait,
change the weaponry, tanks, planes for your soldiers, and change the
is that not an... Wait. That might be... Is that an explosive shell, or is that like a napalm incendiary shell?
tanks, planes for your
Because if it's like one of the... Because I see that, and it looks like now it actually shoots like more like sparks and stuff. I don't know. Either way, if this is an like HE round, it's supposed to explode. You know, like boom, explosion. Then that's not there, which is all important things to keep in mind in all of this.
Command the
But
weapon strategic skills
and
in
also
the
here.
RTS portion of
the weapons actually look pretty good.
the game, where you
They're definitely gonna do more stuff, like the weaponry play, of
can
course.
deploy weaponry.
Like that really reminds me of Enlisted.
Where you
Still, Enlisted actually reminds me a little bit different. Like it's not the exact same type of thing as Enlisted, but it's pretty similar to it. We're seeing, especially with the pledges and all that type of stuff, early access or like early alpha, then closed beta, and then beta. So if we go off their track record of how much they've been doing in reorganizing and actually, because now it's been fully confirmed to me that they are all virtual, and that is very hard to do, especially understanding their different time zones. So they're not always communicating at the same time. They're mainly communicating via DMs. So understanding that and seeing how much stuff has happened within H&G, how much they were able to do, I see a lot more coordination. That's a really good thing to kick off with and actually prove a good, like, hey, we're here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna build the game. But that's why I was specifically, especially with you guys, looking at those little small things, because if that doesn't change within the beta, or after the beta's open, if all those things have not changed, or if they have changed and it went worse, you know, like, if it's not the experience that it should be, then that'll be easy to see because they've showed that, especially with the tank and all that stuff. Which is kind of interesting that they showed that footage with the tank, really because kind of putting themselves in a corner, like kind of like showing a lot of stuff that they don't have to show, but they're doing it. So if we see in the future that that isn't there, it's gonna really be a bad thing. And people are definitely not gonna want to support the game. The whole type of, even the console thing is probably gonna go down as well. Because they're not gonna put that console stuff, or even think about anything device, mobile support, you know, the whole 9 yards. They're not even gonna think about that until probably the game's in beta, and then, or really think about launching that until the game's in beta. And then once, because I don't know, I don't think I will be able to support the game, unfortunately. I've never technically really been able to. I don't have the spendable funds, but I've always said that if I could, I would. Because I say that because I'm not going to be able to get into the early access and pre-alpha stuff, most likely, to see, just like with Warzone. I got a Warzone, I pre-ordered Warzone, the first one, and then got into the beta in the multiplayer, seen the whole change in how they, as a studio, changed themselves to what they are now in Warzone 2, which is kind of crazy. So, given that whole thing right there, weapons plays got to change. They got to go for nanites at a certain time before beta opens. Like, open beta, closed beta, they can not nanite their foliage, but I have to say, you got to do that before then. They have to, with the textures, got to fix all the textures that look funky, that aren't working right. Then they also got to fix any models that have the similar issues, which is kind of a big task within itself, time-consuming task, because they're probably gonna have to redo textures and redo models to make them probably meet the overall aesthetic of the game. But the thing is, I don't know, because we saw that like underground part, that was not H&G at all. That was all TLM tech. Oh, oops. Technically them, but it's like, it's not these type of models and art style. It's a different type of thing, slightly. So we'll see how that further develops and see if that is going to be good or not, because that's going to be a big hit or miss thing right there. Is like the game has got to, I say, because they're not just making a the game that they're making is not like a different game name. It's Heroes and Generals the Next War, so they're got to make it a Heroes and Generals type game that has the feeling, the looks, the gameplay, everything. We got an STG right now, the way the weapon's moving, the way the weapon shoots. Like, we gotta look at all those things. How is the badge system gonna work? The bipods, all that stuff. We gotta see all that stuff in. Now, of course, depending how they do these early access, well, closed pre-alpha and then closed beta, we'll see how fast they transition between those two states, and then also transition from closed beta to open beta. The reason why I say that is because they could quickly just go right to beta and then still be in the same state that the game's in. which will still technically be alpha, but they just wanted to change the states. Even if they think it's beta, it's not beta. And developers do that. Like Tarkov, game's not in beta. I know they really want it to be, but it's not. The game's been out way too long for that game to be in beta, and it's been updated way too much for it to be beta. I know if they want a crazy whole bigger scope idea for the game, cool, but that does not mean the game's in beta. Especially when you release it and then you monetize it and have the whole thing going as is. That's not beta anymore. If there's any other things, because after this, I want to look into the Q&A and see if there's anything that we're asking or talking about here or thinking about and whatnot that they've asked or someone else asked and they have actually answered. So if we go back over to this is the FAQ for the H&G's end. Is here generals could be discontinued? Yes. Myth 13. Our game is entered its our game entered its beta stage. Oh, in 2016 and release. Okay, so technology no longer supported. Okay, this is me. You're gonna release. Here's Generals 2. We love depend on, but it depends on the community. We're currently working on a new version. Kickstarter. Necessary funds. If you want to make a pledge, we're gonna shut down the servers. 6 months. Yeah. Okay. So, will there be some type of special announcements? You would have to find out. Okay. So it might do a big thing before it ends. Why can't the server stay up? Patients. Talented communities to be 100% focused. Okay. Also save money. They get refunded for the stuff. No, but we sure players will notice in order to spend gold purchases. Okay. Makes sense. Will the Heroes and Generals Discord server be open? Yep. When we will play. Okay, so we will anticipate first playable version approximately. Interesting. Approximately playable version or open? Q2 of 2024. First, but I guess that does mean the pre-alpha. Interesting. Will I be able to play my Heroes and Generals first accounts? We use a completely new login system. Yes. What about the soldiers' items and progress on any account will be carried over? Here's a completely new game built from ground up. Yes or no? So basically, you want to force me purchase the same content yet? Not at all. For starters, content. However, carrying these two game assets requires a lot of work. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going past the stuff that we kind of already talked about here. And I'll be able to keep my old account name. No. Oh, you reserve it. Okay, that's cool. For the Kickstarter. What improvements can we expect? Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, sweaties. It is actually going to happen. Allies are turned into... U.S. and Soviets are most likely turned into allies, and any fascist country is going to turn into Axis. So that means countries, new factions, are way more plausible now from this starting point. Way more plausible. That means if you want to play under a certain thing, you would have to click the Axis and it would be something under it. Let's go. That's huge. Unless they're just saying Axis and allies here, but I feel like that's really specific. They could have just said the U.S. and Germans, but they didn't. In that way, they kind of did, but that kind of is an umbrella term for the people, for the different countries involved in that side. This would be transparent and fair. Okay, a new resource system. Wait, a new resource and supply system will make the war of attrition much more interesting and influenced by other players. No more waiting to deploy for your units. Ooh. No more text chat required or aimed at reduction. Yeah. Voice chat, kind of confirmed. New map creation tools. Oh yeah. Duh. Thought they were saying that for players for a moment, but no, that's them. The progress system will be completely reworked. Makes sense. Instant access to the war and strategy gameplay from day one. Let's go. All progress is now based on... It's now based on your count now. Wait, it's now based on your count, not just individual soldiers. If you decide to create multiple soldiers, you no longer have to start from scratch. Interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out and how much that's going to cost in order to get those set things. Easier and quicker access to the core game components for new players. offer meaningful and new exciting long-term goals for veterans through always expanding pool of interesting content, ways to influence the war, and achievements. Interesting. Be free to play? Okay, so we'll be free to play. Battle passes and other cosmetic upgrades. Okay. Good. Well, here's the general rules to have new maps. We tend to create robust games. Yes, 100%. Missions too. Interesting that they're saying missions. So I guess that might be a new thing. Where it's like, not just only stage, but there's like missions, which might be the stage. Like version of this game. Like the stage game mode where you play Assault. On which platforms will be able to play Here's the numbers 2 will be available for gaming consoles. Our current PC, but we hope they'll launch. Oh, so yeah! And mobile integration. So yeah, both, funny enough, that we talked about. So yeah, it all depends on the success. Well, it also really depends on the overall success of the game as well. So not just that, but it does help them. It really does. The more support they get, gives them the opportunity to really do this stuff, especially for that. But I think they're going to be trying to get new developers. They're going to kind of have to in order to keep up with the content that they're going to be able to really produce at this scale. It really depends, though, of course, on the dedication of the current developers, how much they can do, and all that stuff. But, okay, so that answers a few questions.